all your school rugby, all in one place. This is Next Gen 50.
Alright guys, welcome to Next Gen 15, and today's topic is the under 21 team of the tournament, based of course on the recent SARU under 21 tournament. I know this is late, but been extremely busy with some projects, guys. Big things are coming up. I'll have some more news for you in the near future, and yeah, like I said, some very exciting things happening, and it's definitely going to benefit young rugby players for the future. Very excited about what's in the pipeline, and hence the video has been a bit late, so I do apologize for that, but you know, better late than never, as they say. So if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to click that subscribe button as well as bell notification, and as soon as new videos are released, you'll be the first to know. So let's get into it. So we're going to start off with the fullback position and some players that I really like the look of. I really like the look of Tighthead Abrahams from the Sharks. I definitely think that he can become a Ches and Colby type player. Very exciting. Someone that also impressed me when he came on the field was Jordan Hendrickse from the Lions, Jaden's younger brother. Yeah, such a talent, massive boot. He just looks very calm and he looks like he belongs. I just think he's got a massive future in the game. Definitely think we should see him part of the SA Under 20 team next year. And then finally, someone that a couple years back when I started this channel, I slept on, and quite a few guys reminded me of that. And that's Cohen Jasper from the Cheetahs. I thought he was absolutely fantastic as well this tournament, a player that I really like a lot. But in the end, guys, I mean, it wasn't close. It had to go to Richard Creel from the Bulls. This guy is such a talent. I mean, just based on his offload alone in that game against the Lions, I believe it was, just on that alone, you can put him in the team of the tournament. I don't remember the last time I've seen something like that. He's just one of the most intelligent rugby players I've ever come across. The way that he reads the game, his running lines, everything about him is just absolutely fantastic. He's just going to go so far in the game. I mean, I don't want to, you know, maybe jump the shark, so to speak, but I think he can become like a legendary Springbok player if he continues to develop as he's developing now. He's just an absolutely unbelievable talent, and the Bulls are very, very lucky to have a player like this. A very special player. Just really, really intelligent player, guys. I mean, you just got to watch his footage. Very special, and I don't know, maybe 2-3 years time you could definitely see him sort of in the Springbok reckoning. I really think so. I think his development will be fast tracked. He's just truly an unbelievable player. Then the right wing, Prince Nkabinde from the Lions really impressed me. I really like his style of play. Plays with a lot of heart. Also Caleb Dingon from the Sharks. A lot of you guys have been following school rugby will know about Caleb. Fantastic player. But again, this wasn't close in my opinion, and it's Trevino Jacobs from the Bulls. He's been consistently fantastic at school level. He was absolutely lethal last year. I can see that he's worked on his strength and conditioning a bit this year. He just looks like the complete package, and the fact that he's still at the under 20 level just it's a scary prospect. I think he should be playing you know, elite level rugby next year, definitely. I think the Bulls definitely need to fast track this guy because he's got everything it takes to succeed in the game, and you know, one of these guys, a school prodigy that will make good. I can't rate Stravina highly enough. No words can justify this guy's talent. Then outside centre, players that I really like the look of, Conan Lafleur from the Cheetahs really impressed me. I really like how he's playing his rugby. He's always been a talented rugby, but I always felt, and I don't know, I can't say this as like someone that knows for a fact, but I always felt that he relied more on talent than work rate. But I think what I see in him now is that his work rate's improved a lot. I think it bodes very well for the future. Conan can definitely become a household name. And then of course Diego Apollos from the Bulls, Khasi's old boy, fantastic player as well. I really like the look of him, but it had to go to Molense from the Lions. He just had a standout tournament, one of the best players in the tournament. I remember I felt that his selection to the SA Under 20 team last year was quite controversial because you know, they played him at fly-off a couple of times, and I always felt that he was a centre, but I thought maybe you know, we had some better options at fly-off. So, and I expressed that last year, that I was a bit concerned about that. But you know, guys like this, they just perform on the field, and they make, you know, guys like me that commentate on this type of stuff shut our mouths, eat our words. He was absolutely fantastic this tournament. One of the form players, one of the best players of the tournament. James has definitely got a big future in the game. Can't wait to see how he develops. Then we have at inside centre, two players I really liked. Were actually two Bulls players. JC now and David Killerman. You remember David Killerman was named one of my young guns in the class of 2018, the Paul Gym Centre. Really rate him highly. But it had to go to Luke Rousseau, guys. It had to go to Luke Rousseau. Another guy that just had an absolutely outstanding tournament. Him and Molense were just an unbelievable pairing, complement each other so well. And from what I understand, both were actually playing, but both are capable of playing fly-half as well. So, you know, it just goes to show you how that transition from fly-half to centre can occur. And, you know, a player can sort of have more facets to their game if they've been playing in multiple positions. And the work rate of these guys, the distribution, the ability to get the ball out to the wings, unbelievable. Great talents. Lions can be very proud of their performances. And then we move on to the left wing. It was very hard for me because there's one other player that I really rate highly, and that's Ngia Selengbe from the Lions. I just think he's got a fantastic future in the game. I love the way he plays. I just love his energy on the field. But ultimately, it had to go to Angelo Davids, guys. I mean, Western Province did not have the best tournament. I think we can all agree on that. You know, obviously the Lions and the Bulls will make up the majority of this team as they were the form teams in the tournament. But Angelo just stood out as a fantastic player. Seamless transition to senior rugby as well. I think he scored a try last week at the time of this recording. So, yeah, just so much talent and a very exciting player for the future. Blistering pace. Played in the Springbok Sevens team as well. So, no, he's really highly rated by those at the top of SARU, and I think he's going to be fast-tracked. He's developing a lot faster than most would have thought, I think. Then moving on to the fly-off position, and there were quite a few contenders here. Butter Chamberlain, I just loved watching Butter play from the Sharks. Paul Boy's old boy. I just thought he was like outstanding. Even though the Sharks disappointed me in this tournament, Butter somehow just stood out for me. I just love how calm he is under pressure. Yes, he did make mistakes, as did a lot of the Sharks players. But I think what I liked about him was that he dusted himself off and he focused on the next set of play. You know, he didn't let it hamper him for the rest of the game. And his tactical kicking is just outstanding. You know, he looks like a seasoned professional when he's kicking for posts. Just cool, calm, collected, knows exactly where to put the ball. I just really rate him. And then, of course, someone that I've spoken a heck a lot about, Porus, old boy Jean Mostert from the Western Province. I've always just thought to myself, this could be like a Stephen Larkham type player. Maybe even a bit of Henry Honeyball in him as well. I really rate him. But in terms of this tournament specifically, I had to go with Mark Morrison from the Lions. And you know, he's someone, he matriculated in 2017 from Keza, I believe. And as you guys know, I really only started doing this channel in 2018, so I didn't get to see a lot of him at school level. But what I did see of him in this tournament, I really liked. I think he's a very exciting prospect and a hell of a talent. And if he's watching, I've got to apologize about this about this picture, but it's the best I could find. Yeah, it doesn't make him look like the most intelligent player, but he is an intelligent player. He is a very intelligent player. I loved the combination between him and his centres. I just thought he got that back line moving like nobody's business. And yeah, I can't wait to see him make the step up to senior rugby. It's going to be exciting for sure. Then we move on to the scrum-half position, and two players I really liked was Bernard van der Linde from the Bulls. I thought he was very consistent. I think a typical Bull scrum-half, structured, disciplined, plays off the forwards nicely, gets his team out of pressure situations, very strong, deceptively strong. I liked him. Lucky Tlepu, I really like Lucky. I really like him. I mean, if I had to choose a favourite player of this tournament, Lucky would be up there. I just think, you know, he's not the biggest player out there, but the amount of heart that guy's got, he plays for the full 80 minutes. He just doesn't stop. He's like an Energizer bunny. And, you know, his sort of energy is infectious, you know. Even when the Sharks were getting thrashed by certain teams in the tournament, you know, he still kept his head up and he still played his game. I love seeing Lucky play. But in terms of this tournament, you can't really argue, guys. It has to be Ronaldo Pedro. Eastern Cape boy from Grey High School. He actually, as far as I remember, he played mainly in the back three. So the transition to Scrum-half has been, it's been absolutely fantastic for him. Herschel Yankees, watch yourself, because if this guy continues developing like he is, I mean, you're going to have some serious competition on your hands here. I mean, this guy, I think he can already make the step up to Super Rugby or Pro 14 or whatever the hell we're going to be playing. I think he could make the step up and, you know, make a noise out there. So I'm definitely excited to see how he goes. Then at 8th man, two players I really liked, well, three players I really liked was Travis Gordon from the Lions, Franco Horn as well from the Lions. Travis was sort of captain fantastic during the tournament. Evan Roos from the Sharks was also great. You know, even though the Sharks were disappointing, he really had some standout games. But I think for me it would have to be Devon Fenter from the Bulls. I think he was the most consistent player. I really like his style of play. I like the way he breaks off the back of the scrum, his power, his mobility. I just don't think there's many weaknesses in his game. He's not sort of like a standout player in terms of his, you know, that you're going to see him all over the field like a Dwan Vermeulen, but in terms of his consistency in his overall gameplay, I just think he's a great talent, and I really think he's going to make a big impact at the Bulls in the near future. Open side flank. Players I really like the look of was Silimpilo Gumede from the Sharks. I would have expected a bit more from him in the tournament, but in general I think the Sharks were really much in an experimental phase. So they were trying out different things. I think if they sent their strongest team down, they could have caused some real problems in the tournament. But Gumede, he did have some standout moments. The talent is definitely there. Jared Taylor, obviously from Western Province. Can't say enough good things about him. You know, he missed the first couple of games, but as soon as he came back, just made an immediate impact. Definitely first name on the paper in terms of the S120 squad next year. Then Keenan Opperman from the Bulls was also great this tournament. Really rated him. But the standout for me was obviously Sibo Sangweni from the Lions. The fact, I think he's still under 19, if I could be wrong, but what a talent. Consistently fantastic during the whole tournament, didn't really have a bad game, and definitely one for the future. I think he could definitely be fast tracked to Springbok colours. Then we move on to the Blindside. Two players I really liked the look of was Mark Snyman and Adam Outfit from the Lions and the Sharks respectively. I think they had fantastic tournaments between them, but ultimately it would have to go to Yakula Beskakni from the Bulls. He really was a standout last year for the South African under-20 team, and you know, he carried that form with him this year. Fantastic player. Then moving on to the locks, you know, the first lock that I really liked the look of, he's under 19 this year, under 20 next year, Dylan DeLue from Western Province. Still think he's got it. But in terms of my selection, I'd have to go for Janko Swanepoel from the Bulls. Nice physical player, fantastic in the lineouts, very consistent during the whole tournament, and that Bulls forward pack absolutely brutalised their opponents. So, you know, I think he was a key part of that. Then the other lock, in the other lock position, I really liked the look of Jordan van Dijk from the Bulls and Simon Miller from Western Province. Simon Miller, of course, is still under 19, so should be part of the SA under-20 reckoning next year. But for me, it had to be Emmanuel Chichuka from the Lions. Form player, one of the players of the tournament, no doubt about it. Had a fantastic varsity cup as well when he was playing. And someone that's just absolutely destined for high honours, one has to feel. Then we move on to the Tighthead, and for me it was between Hanro Jacobs and the player that I obviously mentioned. You know, Hanro I've spoken about a lot, part of my 2018 Young Gun squad, and you know, just one of the most powerful scrummagers in the country. And I think, just in my opinion, who pipped him was Asanati and Tlabakanye. I just think he was outstanding this tournament. He could work on his scrummage a bit, as been alluded to, but at the same time, his ball carrying, his leadership on the field, the way that he, you know, just his general demeanour on the field, he's definitely on the fast track to becoming a Springbok, guys. I really believe this guy can go far. Then we move on to the hooker position. Two players I really like the look of. Fez and Butter from the Sharks. I know he didn't have the best of tournaments, but still, you can see that the talents there. I still highly rate Fez. I think he's going to go far in the game. And then Andre Hugo Vento, to me, was absolutely outstanding. I mean, he's under 19 this year. He made a big name, he made a big case for himself being included in the S under-20 squad next year. But you know, he just came on, and I thought he changed the dynamic in the forwards department. But for me, it would have to be Janko Ace. Just again, with all the Bulls forwards, it has to be based on the consistency. Consistently good, consistently overpowering their opponents. And Janko is definitely going to become an important player for the Bulls in the near future, one feels. And then finally, we have at the Loosehead prop department, the player that I felt was closest to the winner was Kwesi Dube from the Bulls. I thought he was outstanding this tournament, and definitely someone that can go far in the game. But ultimately, guys, and no, I don't think I'll get any arguments here. Jan-Hendrik Wessels, our video of him went viral for a reason. Everyone around the world is watching him. He's one of the most exciting under 20 prospects in the world, and that being an under 19 player. And every time he hit the field, he did something exciting. He did something different. He did something special, and he's just a generational talent. And it's not if he will become a Springbok; it's basically when he'll become a Springbok. I wouldn't be shocked if they fast track him after the under 20 World Cup just to blood him in. I really think within a year or 2 years, I think he could become part of the squad reckoning. It's just inevitable in my opinion. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for taking the time to watch this. As I mentioned before, don't forget to click that subscribe button and bell notification, so as soon as new videos are released, you'll be the first to know. And let me know your comments and opinions before. And once again, sorry that this was late, just been a bit busy, and hopefully we'll get some other videos out for you a lot quicker in the future. Cheers. Bye.